Okay, friends, we're coming down to the wire. Finals week is just around the corner. All that's left for the rest of the semester are student-teacher conferences, the research paper, the final exam, and any late work that's been floating around out there. First, be aware that we have a one-on-one Zoom conference coming up. Things to bring to this conference are a good attitude and growth mindset, anything related to your final paper, ideas about your strengths and weaknesses, questions about course content, questions about your grade, and plans for completing English 1101 successfully. Sign up on Moodle if you haven't already. Okay, now let's review what's going on with that final paper. We have gone over this list so many times, but we're going to do it one last time. In a nutshell, your paper should include a thesis statement that answers the question, what does it mean to be a blank? It should be 6 to 8 pages in length. It should incorporate 5 sources, use quote sandwiches for source material, include a works cited page, refer to personal experience, explode at least one moment for me, and show growth and create something surprising for the reader too. Remember that all the research and citation and library stuff aside, the point of this paper is to answer the question, what does it mean to be a blank? Don't lose sight of that question and all the other little things you have to do and keep track of. The main source-related things I'll be looking for while you're grading this assignment is that you can write a quote sandwich, that you can identify sources with tags and in-text citations, that you can use your sources fairly with citations in a works cited page, and that you can use sources without letting them overpower your own perspective. Finally, don't forget that I want a story. I'll be grading 50 of these things this fall, so make it fun for me. Remember, this paper is basically a pumped up, mega beefy, reflective narrative all about you, with some research thrown in for good measure. And one more note on the purpose of this paper. The process leading up to this moment has been more important than the final product itself. You have already done so much work on this project, and I see that. I will use this grading guide to help me evaluate your papers. This paper is worth 30 points, so notice how I've divvied up those points between the various evaluation criteria. You may want to review a couple of the videos about this project at some point. The initial What Does It Mean to Be a Blank research project introduction video and the rough draft introduction video both have some good information to review. Okay, on to the final exam. Your final exam is a reflective self-evaluation in which you reflect on your experiences as a student and as a writer over the past semester. Some questions to consider. Has your perspective on writing and writers changed? How? Why? How have you improved and grown as a student and as a writer? What do you want to do to improve? Please include concrete examples from your own writing and experiences to use for specificity. Write approximately 2 pages double-spaced and upload it on Moodle. You may also choose to write by hand and take a photo of your writing to upload as well if you would prefer. I will be using this simple grading guide to evaluate your papers or your final exams. Development is weighted the highest. I really wish I could be there to give you a high five after you finish your exam, but just pretend we did, okay? You hit submit and pretend you're giving me a high five, okay? That would make me happy. The last thing we need to discuss is the end of the semester due date. Notice there is no S on the end of that sentence. It is a singular date. Everything is due before midnight on the Tuesday of finals week, which is Tuesday, December 14th, 2021, 11:59 p.m. This includes your final exam, final paper, and any late work that remains. I tend to be fairly understanding about late assignments throughout the entire semester, but this is where my heart hardens because I have to grade all this stuff and I don't have a very large window in which to get all that grading done. I chose the Tuesday of finals week because Tuesday from 3 to 5 p.m. is traditionally reserved for English 1101 final exams. And it's when my in-person students will be taking their final exam in person. I will not budge on this due date. I'll repeat it. I will not budge on this due date, so forget about it. The good news is that after you submit those assignments on the Tuesday of finals week, you're done with my class and can move on with your life. That doesn't mean that you have to be done with me forever. I love to help out with personal statements and application materials and other school assignments. I'm also available as someone you can ask for a letter of recommendation. If you want to friend me on Facebook, I'm really active on there. And I post a lot of pictures of my kids, and sometimes they complain about grading. But I'd love to keep in contact and hope that we do. Well, that's all I have to say for now. You have one more video in which I discuss my parting thoughts for the class, but that one's not required. So for many of you, this will be goodbye. Thank you for a wonderful semester. I wish you all the best of luck. Happy writing!